Hello, everybody, and welcome to Exploring the Bible with Dave. I am your host, Dave, and today we'll be reading chapter 13 through 15 of the Gospel of John. I'm reading the New Living Translation, but you can follow along if you like, or just listen to me in the background. It is all good. Whew. Sorry, you guys, I'm a little out of breath. I just came back from a jog, and I wanted to, do some stuff right and just say welcome to everybody. And please don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, and share. You can if you want. You don't have to, but it would help me out to reach as many people as I can. Hopefully, I could break 25 subscribers. I'm at 24 right now, and I'm actually pretty excited about it. So yeah, maybe a subscriber a week. I'll be happy with that. Anyways, let's continue. Chapter 13. Jesus washes his disciples' feet. Before the Passover celebration, Jesus knew that his hour had come to leave this world and return to his Father. He had loved his disciples during his ministry on earth, and now he loved them to the very end. It was time for supper, and the devil had already prompted Judas, son of Simon Iscariot, to betray Jesus. Jesus knew that the Father had given him authority over everything and that he had come from God and would return to God. So he got up from the table, took off his robe, wrapped a towel around his waist, and poured water into the basin. Then he began to wash the disciples' feet, drying them with the towel he had around him. When Jesus came to Simon Peter said to him, "Lord, are you going to wash my feet?" Jesus replied, "You don't understand now what I'm doing, but someday you will." "No," Peter protested, "you will never ever wash my feet." Jesus replied, Unless I wash you, you won't belong to me." Simon Peter exclaimed, "Then wash my hands and head as well." "Lord, not just my feet." Jesus replied, "A person who has bathed all over does not need to wash, except for the feet, to be entirely clean, and the disciples are clean, but not all of you." For Jesus knew who would betray him. That is what he meant when he said, "Not all of you are clean." After washing their feet, he put on his robe again and sat down and asked, "Do you understand what I was doing? You call me teacher and Lord, and you are right, because that's what I am. And since I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you ought to wash each other's feet. I've given you an example to follow. Do as I have done to you. I tell you the truth, slaves are not greater than their master, nor is the messenger more important than the one who sends the message. Now that you know these things, God will bless you for doing them." Jesus predicts his betrayal. I'm not saying these things to all of you. I know the ones I have chosen, but this fulfills a scripture that says, "The one who eats my food has turned against me." I tell you this beforehand so that when it happens to you, will believe that I am the Messiah. I tell you the truth. Anyone who welcomes my messenger is welcoming me. Anyone who welcomes me is welcoming the Father who sent me. Now Jesus was deeply troubled, and he exclaimed, "I tell you the truth, one of you will betray me." The disciples looked at each other, wondering whom he could mean. The disciples Jesus loved was sitting next to Jesus at the table. Simon Peter motioned to him to ask, "Who's he talking about?" So that disciple leaned over to Jesus and asked, "Lord, who is it?" Jesus responded, "It is the one to whom I give the bread I dip in the bowl." And when he had dipped it, he gave it to Judas, son of Simon Iscariot. When Jesus had eaten the bread, Satan entered into him. Then Jesus told him, "Hurry and do what you're going to do." None of the others at the table knew what Jesus meant, since Judas was their treasurer. Some thought Jesus was telling him to go and pay for the food, or to give some money to the poor. So Judas left at once, going out into the night. Jesus predicts Peter's denial. As soon as Judas left the room, Jesus said, "The time has come for the Son of Man to enter into his glory, and God will be glorified because of him. And since God receives glory because of the Son, he will soon give glory to the Son. Dear children, I will be with you only a little longer, and I was told that Jewish leaders, you will search for me, but you can't come where I'm going. So now I'm giving you a new commandment. Love each other. Just as I have loved you, you should love each other. Your love for one another will prove to the world that you are my disciples." Simon Peter asked, "Lord, where are you going?" And Jesus replied, "You can't go with me now, but you will follow me later." "But why can't I come now, Lord?" he asked. "I'm ready to die with you." Jesus answered, "Die for me. I tell you the truth, Peter, before the rooster crows tomorrow morning, you will deny 3 times that you even know me." And that's the end of chapter 13. But I do love the fact that he pretty much put Peter, or Simon Peter, I should say, in his place. Kind of like that guy. It's like, I would never betray you. I want to die with you. And then it's like, yeah. Well, this is what you're gonna do, and this is what you've been doing. So don't get too cocky and gun ho there, kid. I like that a little bit. Chapter 14. Jesus, the way to the Father. Don't let your hearts be troubled. Trust in God and trust also in me. There is more than enough room in my Father's home. If this were not so, would I have told you that I am going to prepare a place for you? When everyone is ready, I will come and get you, so that you will always be with me where I am, and you know the way to where I am going. No, we don't know, Lord, Thomas said. We have no idea where you are going, so how can we know the way? Jesus told him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one could come to the Father except through me. If you had really known me, you would know who my Father is. From now on, you do know him and have seen him. Philip said, Lord, show us the Father, and we will be satisfied. Jesus replied, Have I been with you all this time, Philip, and yet you still don't know who I am? Anyone who has seen me has seen the Father. So why are you asking me to show him to you? Don't you believe that I am the Father, and the Father is in me? The words I speak are not of my own, but my Father who lives in me does his work through me. Just believe that I am in the Father and the Father is in me, or at least believe because of the work you have seen me do. I tell you the truth, anyone who believes in me will do the same works I have done, and even greater works, because I am going to be with the Father. You can ask for anything in my name, and I will do it, so the Father can bring glory to the Father. Yes, so the Son can bring glory to the Father. Yes, ask me for anything in my name, and I will do it. That's actually pretty compelling stuff. I'm actually not going to lie, that's actually some pretty deep stuff. I actually really enjoy that. Jesus promises the Holy Spirit. If you love me, obey my commandments, and I will ask the Father, and he will give you another advocate, who will never leave you. He is the Holy Spirit who leads you into truth. The world cannot receive him, I should say, because it isn't looking for him and doesn't recognize him, but you know him, because he lives with you now and later will be in you. No, I will not abandon you as orphans. I will come to you. Soon the world will no longer see me, but you will see me. Since I live, you also will live. When I am raised to life again, you will know that I am in my Father, and you are in me, and I am in you. Those who accept my commandments and obey them are the ones who love me. And because they love me, my Father will love them, and I will love them and reveal myself to each of them. Judas, not Judas Iscariot, but the other disciple with the name, said to him, Lord, why are you going to reveal yourself only to us and not to the world at large? Jesus replied, All who love me who will do what I say, my Father will love them and will come and we will come and make our home with each of them. Anyone who doesn't love me will not obey me. And remember, my words are not my own. What I am telling you is from the Father who sent me. I am telling you these things now while I am still with you. But when the Father sends the advocate as my representative, that is the Holy Spirit, he will teach you everything and will remind you of everything I have told you. I am leaving you with a gift, peace of mind and heart. And the peace I give is a gift of the world cannot give. So don't be troubled or afraid. Remember what I told you, I'm going away, but I will come back to you again. If you really loved me, you would be happy that I am going to the Father who is greater than I am. I have told you these things before they happen, so that when they do happen, you will believe. I don't have much time to talk to you, because the ruler of this world approaches. He has no power over me, but I will do what the Father requires of me, so that the world will know that I love the Father. Come, let's be going. And I actually really do love what I just read there. I never knew there was another disciple named Judas. I don't think it makes mention of this at all in the other 3 Gospels that I read. But what kind of a because this is probably like good Judas, the really upstanding citizen, and then you got bad Judas or evil Judas. I always like to picture that this Judas, the good Judas, has like no goatee. He's clean shaven, but the bad Judas or evil Judas has a goatee, kind of like in that Star Trek episode. Uh, I know I shouldn't be joking about that, but I just picture that because that's how you know who's the good one and who's the evil one. Just a goatee. But what a name to have, eh? Can you imagine having that name, being called Judas, but everybody knows Judas is the bad guy that betrayed Jesus, and people would automatically probably assume that was you. I can imagine the mix-ups and confusion going on there. It's pretty pretty annoying, I'd say, because it sounds like he's this Judas seems like a pretty cool dude. Not Judas Iscariot, but the Ascariot, I should say, or however you pronounce his last name, but the good one. But anyways, I'm going to move on. Jesus the True Vine, chapter 15. I am the true grapevine, and my Father is the gardener. He cuts off every branch of mine that doesn't produce fruit, and he prunes the branches that do bear fruit, so they will produce even more. You have already been pruned and purified by the message I have given you. Remain in me, and I will remain in you, for a branch cannot produce fruit if it is severed from the vine, and you cannot be fruitful unless you remain in me. Yes, I am the vine. You are the branches. Those who remain in me and I in them will produce much fruit. For apart from me you can do nothing. Anyone who does not remain in me is thrown away like a useless branch and withers. Such branches are gathered into a pile to be burned. But if you remain in me and my words remain in you, you may ask for anything you want, and it will be granted. When you produce much fruit, you are my true disciples. This brings great glory to my Father. I have loved you even as my Father has loved me. Remain in my love. When you obey my commandments, and you will remain in my love. Just as I obey my Father's commandments and remain in his love. I have told you these things so that you will be filled with joy. Yes, your joy will overflow. This is my commandment. Love each other in the same way I have loved you. There is no greater love than to lay down one's life for one's friends. You are my friends. If you do what I command, I no longer call you slaves, because a master doesn't confide in his slaves. Now you are my friends, since I have told you everything the Father told me. You didn't choose me, I chose you. I appointed you to go and produce lasting fruit, so the Father will give you whatever you ask for using my name. This is the commandment. Love each other. The world's hatred. If the world hates you, remember that it hated me first. The world would love you as one of its own if you belonged to it, but you are no longer part of the world. I chose you to come out of the world, so it hates you. Do you remember what I told you? A slave is not greater than the master. Since they persecuted me, naturally they will persecute you. And if they had listened to me, they will listen to you. They will do all this to you because of me, for they have rejected the one who sent me. They would not be guilty if I had not come and spoken to them. But now they had no excuse for their sin. Anyone who hates me also hates my Father. If I hadn't done such miraculous signs among them, and no one else could do, they would not be guilty. But as it is, they have seen everything I did, yet they still hate me and my Father. This fulfills what is written in their scriptures. They hated me without cause. But I will send you the advocate, the Spirit of truth. He will come to you from the Father and will testify about me. And you must also testify about me because you have been with me from the beginning of my ministry. And that ends chapter 15 of the Gospel of John. And I honestly love it. It's a great message. A wonderful, wonderful message. Basically, it's, this is my opinion. He's done teaching them all he can. He's shown people the miracles and miraculous acts he was able to do. And people still didn't believe him. And pretty much at this point, Jesus was just, as my opinion, he just raised his hands up and was like, whatever, I'm done. I showed all those that I can show. I've done all that I can, and people have either accepted me or not have accepted me. But I've done everything that was written in their scriptures about the coming of Christ, or the Son of God coming, and I did everything that said in their scriptures, and they still don't believe me. So I did what I was supposed to do. I actually think that's pretty cool, because there's only so much you can do, right? You can only do so much that you can't do anymore, because what's the point? It's like you're arguing with a brick wall. And that's why I can kind of see it. like in today's world, right? You see a lot of people that do good, and there's a lot of people nowadays in this day and age that doubt it. They can doubt it till they're blue in the face, and nothing you do for them is ever good enough. So when is the time where you can just stand up and be like, no, I think I'm done. I think it's time to move on. And that's basically what he says, And, you can see that a lot of times in this day and age, You could have video evidence, you could have, all this stuff, but some people still won't believe. I want to talk about, the people that believe dinosaurs are a myth. Like who honestly believes dinosaurs are a myth? They're bones, they're skeletons, they're fossils. There's evidence of this. They got to dig down God only knows how many feet to get down to the sediment layer from that era. But people don't believe in dinosaurs. They think it's a myth, or they think the world's only 6,000 years old because they think that's when God created the world was 6,000 years ago. But how do they know this? They don't know the world was created 6,000 years ago. What, are they going through the Bible and picking out dates, or are they doing each chapter, each story as 1 year? I don't know. I think it's just ridiculous. The whole concept of science and religion is that it kind of goes hand in hand. Religion, you need faith. Science, it's facts. You can believe whatever you want. I don't care. But when you start saying that the Earth's flat, or that dinosaurs never existed, and it's a myth created by the devil to confuse you, and it just becomes too much. And in this day and age, I think if Jesus was around, Jesus would probably just shake his head and just walk away. Because, personally, there's only so much you can tell people. Like, who in their own right mind in this day and age believes the earth is flat? Like, I can understand, 1,000 years ago, 500 years ago. Sure, I guess. But nowadays, come on. It's just absurd. And these are the same people that say they don't believe in God, or they don't believe in aliens, or they don't believe in dinosaurs. Now, I'm not saying aliens are real. You can believe whatever you want. But, you look at Dan Aykroyd, he just says they're interdimensional beings. And I just shake my head whenever Dan Aykroyd talks, to be honest. But with all this stuff going on, people are moving backwards, like dinosaurs don't exist. The earth is only 6,000 years old. Adam and Eve started humanity, the human race. But then you got to ask yourself, what about all the inbreeding, right? We'd all be like drooling mutants if that was the case. I know I'm getting off topic, but Jesus in the chapters that I read basically said, I've done everything that I can. I've done everything that their scriptures had predicted or said that that when I came down I was going to do. I already did them, so I'm done. I've done all that I was supposed to, and that's the way I see it as today with people, and it's just a really good message that he sent, because you can keep trying but you will never win. So basically it's like you do what you're supposed to do, you make your peace and you move on. Why bother? But I honestly really do love it. It's actually really, really great. And I just think the two Judases, man, I could just imagine what that one Judas, the good Judas, clean-shaven Judas, must have gone through after they found out that evil Judas betrayed them, or betrayed Jesus. I can only imagine. And then you got Peter saying, I will never betray you. I will always be there. Why do I have to, oh man. And then Jesus just puts him in his place. It's like, no, you're going to betray me 3 times before the rooster crows. It's like that. It's like that overly enthusiastic guy who's like, I'll never, I'll help you out no matter what. Yeah. And then when you need help moving, or you need somebody to talk to, they're like always busy, and they're like, no, I can't. So yeah, I think that's actually pretty funny and pretty relevant to today too, actually. And with that being said, that's it for today's video, you guys. I hope you guys actually enjoy these videos. I enjoy making them. I actually really do. And I want to thank you all for coming here today and listening to me or watching me. And please, everybody, just be good people. I'm doing a new series called Parables with Dave, and I'm working on another one called Psalms with Dave. Basically, Parables with Dave is about one video every Sunday, and it's a basically it's where I take a parable from the Bible and I read it and I examine it. And, I'm having a lot of fun with it. I just uploaded episode 2 a couple days ago, and it's actually a lot of fun. And I'm actually really enjoying it. But I was going through this copy of the Gideon's Bible, and it had Psalms. So I'm actually pretty excited to start doing that. And I wanted to read some of these Psalms to you guys and just have fun with it. Because I don't know what Psalms are. I'm assuming they're like poems, but or maybe songs, but with YouTube's whole standards and guidelines and using music and whatnot, I might just do it as a spoken word. Might be some fun, right? So I want everybody to know that you guys are awesome. I really appreciate all that you guys are doing. With that being said, be good people, help those in need. It's almost Christmas time, so please, please, please give generously to the food bank, because there are families out there in need who don't have that don't have enough to eat, especially those with kids and the elderly. Just please give generously to the food bank, you guys. Thank you so very much, and God bless you all, and I'll see you tomorrow.